Hey, Charles Onyett here with Ryan McCaffrey from IGN, and we are taking a look at the Dawngaurd trailer, the first major piece of downloadable content for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. Bethesda's been teasing this for a bit, and this is our first real reveal, and it has a lot to do with vampires. So let's take a look at the opening scene here. We can see a character moving forward with an Elder Scroll on their back.
Good catch.
So that seems like it'll play a pretty major role in this piece of DLC. Now we see a vampire character here who's basically giving orders.
Those could be contact lenses.
Maybe they're very advanced contact lenses. But it seems like you will basically have the choice of playing with the vampires or as the Dawngaurd who are trying to eliminate the vampires. So it does seem like there'll be a little bit of choice in the gameplay as well as some kind of transformation scene. What's not clear is whether you will get this regardless of which faction you go with, but yeah, you can transform into some kind of vampire creature. You see a different style of movement here as you're controlling the creature.
The question is, what if I've already become a werewolf with my character in the course of Skyrim? How do those things reconcile with one another?
There are a lot of unanswered questions, and here we see this character moving across the landscape again. Appears to be a much higher movement speed, as well as this different realm. Travel between different realms is common to Elder Scrolls, and it appears that will be the case here. This does not look like it's Skyrim.
Yeah, we saw this with Shivering Isles, the Oblivion expansion pack. You know, you teleport to a whole new land.
So yeah, no, there appears to be a castle there as well, but who knows how long you'll actually be able to stay in that land. Here's another new castle. This is the Dawngaurd. This is the faction fighting against the vampires. They have a very fancy establishment.
Yeah, clearly not the high north here, because there's no snow or ice to be seen whatsoever at this location.
Oh, and we just went by a new weapon type that is included here with Dawngaurd. You can fire crossbows, but yeah, expect new weapon types. I haven't seen that bow before either.
No.
So new weapons, new weapon types, and new armor sets are all very common.
Yeah, there's a canteen on the back there, which I'm sure is cosmetic only, but something we didn't see in the main game.
Or magic canteen, perhaps full of blood for vampire drinking.
Possibly, actually.
Here we see
gargoyle
combat, and oh my goodness,
look at this.
Yeah, this guy is probably going to be pretty tough to fight, and it appears to be an ice giant, and he seems to have huge fangs. I don't know if you can confirm or deny that, but it looks like he has massive fangs, so he's some sort of vampire modification.
He's been taken.
And then we see, I don't know exactly.
Those were bats. It just a creature just exploded into a field of bats.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what that indicates, if that's a kill or if that creature is just sort of leaving to reform elsewhere, or if you fight the bats, but that is an interesting death and or transition animation. Here we see some mounted combat. Now this is actually in the PC version right now. This is being patched in to the game beforehand, so this isn't necessarily Dawngaurd specific, but it is fairly new.
It's new to us 360 folks.
Yeah. And then this is some kind of absorption power with, again, you see the different type of vampire there on the left, whatever character that might be. So we see, I don't know if this is just for cinematic effect or if you're able to do this kind of absorption mechanic in-game, as well as what appears to be a new mount.
Yeah, and if you've played the Dark Brotherhood quest, it looks a little like Shadowmere there.
A little bit, but with a lot more flames.
A lot.
Yeah. And then this could be really interesting depending on what Bethesda does with this. We see a new attack mechanic or combat mechanic for dragons where they appear to be able to dive beneath the ice. I don't know what they do after that, if they come back up elsewhere, but that could be really interesting if there are a whole bunch of new attack types for dragons. If we move forward here, we can see the Elder Scroll actually come into play while the character is reading it, and then we get a little bit, a very brief shot of what appears to be Skyrim's overworld map.
Yes. So yeah, we've got on the map here what appear to be two locations, and are those icons just the icons for the actual cities, or could they mean a little more, maybe the Dawngaurd and the vampire icons?
Yeah, it is a different icon, but it appears to be Markarth in the bottom left and Solitude up top. We'll see what happens beyond that. We don't have a lot of information on that. And then, of course, the marketing, Dovahkiin walking toward the camera here. And this may be an end-game factor. So the darkness that we see there spreading could be, depending on which faction you choose, that is some kind of permanent effect on the world of Skyrim. Not sure yet, but it could be the type of thing that allows vampires to not suffer any kind of effects while out during the day, if that is some kind of vampire sun or something like that.
Be a heck of an end game change.
Yeah. So Dawngaurd, we don't have a release date yet. It is coming out to 360 first, and I believe we do have a price on it.
Well, they have said summer, so no more specific than that. But yes, 1,600 Microsoft points, or otherwise known as 20 US dollars. What's interesting about that is Shivering Isles for Oblivion was 30. So I am going to simply speculate that they're not charging $10 less out of the sheer goodness of their hearts. I'm going to guess that this is going to be a bit of a smaller expansion pack than Shivering Isles was.
That could very well be the case. Shivering Isles was a very sizable expansion, and for PS3 and PC owners, you can likely expect the DLC to happen sometime in the future. No specific timeline on that yet.
I would bet the farm it's in time for the holidays after the summer release of the 360 version.
That would make sense. And for a lot more on the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, you can head over to IGN.com.